Hi, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Next Level Refs. We hope that you've enjoyed the past 2 weeks of content and you will have seen a slightly different format for those last 2 weeks. We've had the perspective of different stakeholders in the game, and we've heard from a previous A-League coach in Phil Moss and the voice of Australian football and commentator of Simon Hill. Tonight, though, we're getting back into referee coaching and we're talking about challenges and specifically the considerations that go into making our decisions around whether we have a foul and the appropriate sanction. I know this is an important topic, and for me personally, I didn't come across the considerations as I was coming through junior and senior football. It was only after I had been in the game for some time that I actually came across these considerations. So hopefully this information will be valuable, and even if you've seen it before, hopefully it's a very good refresher. Tonight, what we're going to cover. We're going to look at the key factors when we talk about considerations with challenges, and we've taken these directly from FIFA. We're looking at a long list of considerations, and we've taken those directly from AFC. Finally, we'll have a wrap up and encourage everyone to keep it simple when it comes to challenges. First and foremost, the key factors when we look at challenges. You'll see the first one there in every topic that we cover. Football understanding. It is crucial with every topic and it underpins everything that we talk about when we look at referee coaching. The second one there, we look at match control and particularly the importance of protecting the game and protecting the players. The third one, after we identify that we have a foul, it's critically important that we sanction it appropriately, whether we have a careless challenge, a reckless challenge, or a serious foul play. We then use our considerations to make sure that we get this information or get the decision correct. We'll touch on the illegal use of arms, given that's a trend in modern football, and the importance of teamwork to get these decisions right. Firstly, big picture, and this is coming back to keeping it simple. This was passed on to me as a great way of working through challenges. First and foremost, is the contact or challenge fair or not? We use our football understanding to identify whether we have a normal football challenge, normal football contact, or whether we have a foul. After we do that, we consider who is responsible for the contact. Particularly important in and around the penalty area, we look at who initiates the contact. Finally, after we've identified that we have a foul, we need to use our considerations to sanction appropriately, and we're looking at whether a foul or a challenge is careless, reckless, or with serious foul play. As we move through, we start to consider or take into considerations some still big picture topics. We consider the force, intensity, or speed of the challenge. This is probably the consideration we go to the most. We then look at the contact or the impact of that contact. We consider how and where the contact is made. And we also consider whether that contact is full contact or whether we have glancing or minor contact. Then we start to look at a rather long list of considerations, and this has been taken from the AFC, but it is by no means exhaustive. You'll see on the screen, we have the first 8 here. We have 25 considerations in total. And I'm going to take my time to leave these on the screen so you've got ample opportunity to screen grab, to take notes, to write down what you choose to. I'm not going to cover every one of these considerations, but I will talk just to a couple of them. Number 3, does the player make fair or unfair contact with the opponent after touching the ball? We've spoken about whether we have contact that is fair or unfair, and often we hear players say, I got the ball, ref, particularly after touching the ball. This does not negate whether we have a foul or not. We need to look at that first major consideration of the speed or intensity or force in the challenge, and also whether we have an additional movement after playing the ball, whether we have a second action that pushes a challenge from a fair challenge into an unfair challenge. We also spoke about the importance of using our football understanding with regard to number 6. Does the player have a chance of playing the ball in a fair manner? This is particularly important when we consider the outcome of an offence. Moving through to our next screen, we will touch on, again, the degree of speed or intensity the player is using when making the challenge, but I really wanted to highlight the importance of 14. Does the player lunge towards the opponent from the front, from the side, or from behind? Now, we know using our football understanding that when a player lunges, and particularly when they leave the ground, it is more likely to move upwards in our sanction. When a player leaves the ground, they lose control of their body and it starts to move into the territory of endangering the safety of an opponent. This also ties into points 15 and 16. What part of the body has the player used to make contact? And does the player use studs when making a tackle? We know that when a player tries to kick the ball, their studs are usually towards the ground. They're kicking the ball with the side or the front part of their foot. When they lunge or lead in with their studs, this is not how we would expect a player to make a challenge, and it is more likely that we move towards a reckless challenge or probably towards a challenge that is serious foul play and sanctioned with a red card. The last lot of considerations that we have, it kind of ties into what we just spoke about. Number 18, in which direction are the tackler's feet pointing? That's around studs or not. But the one I wanted to highlight here is around the illegal use of arms. Number 23, does the player use the arm as a tool or a weapon? And when we speak in these terms, if a player uses their arms when challenging for the ball as a tool and still makes unfair contact, it is sanctioned with a yellow card. If we see the player using their arm as a weapon, and we normally see an additional movement or a swinging arm, that is sanctioned with a red card. Okay, looking at this topic, again, we've raced through this topic. We've only got 10 minutes to speak about, so hopefully we've managed to do it justice. We will dive into some of these topics in a little more detail, but to wrap things up, I want us to speak a little bit about teamwork and the importance of using the match officials that you have available to you. Taking your time with these decisions can often be your best friend. Getting information from your assistant referee, from your fourth official referee, or if you're lucky enough to have it from your off-field VAR team is particularly important in getting these decisions right. Keeping it simple as we move forward, I would encourage everyone to at least consider using this philosophy, starting with, is the contact or challenge fair or not? Moving to who is responsible for the contact, and then using our considerations to determine whether the challenge or contact is careless, reckless, or with excessive force to push it into the serious foul play category. I hope this session has been useful. Thank you very much for tuning in tonight, and we look forward to covering another important topic with you and taking your game to the next level very soon. Thanks.